Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, I must say the maps are coming out thick and fast at the moment. I think we've found that point where the game's been out long enough and Giant's Editor has been in the modders' hands, where a number of map makers are starting to push out their maps. And today's is no exception. This is a first time map from Louisiana Mapping. This map is called South Louisiana, and no surprises, is set in South Louisiana. Small area between towns of Abbeville and Morris, just to the west of New Orleans and the Mississippi River. So very, very flat land, as you can imagine, in the Mississippi Delta and down in that part of Louisiana. This is a 1x map, 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers, and currently is PC only, and I'd expect it to stay that way. There is a few custom buildings which use some branding which would not be permitted on console. And while it could be changed out, I don't see that happening. So for a first up effort by Louisiana Mapping into the farm sim mapping world, I think he has done a fantastic job. Now there's a number of features we will go and take a look at very soon, some very unique ones, first time I have seen them in Farming Simulator. Before we do that though, let's take a quick look at the map, check out what you start with on New Farmer, and just identify some of the features and where we're going to head as we take a look around. So the map is really divided by this main north-south dual tramway expressway here. This runs between the two towns I mentioned earlier. We're down here in the bottom left corner. This is the main dairy farm now. Louisiana mentioned to me that this is predominantly set up to function as a dairy farm. Obviously this is the only farm on the map. Plenty of space though, and because it is so flat, it would be quite simple to construct your own if you wanted to farm some of this land up the top here and operate out of a more arable type setting. You could easily plonk down some sheds and create something up there. Like I said, plenty of flat land. This is pretty flat territory. Other features, there's another road that runs through from the left to right here, down to a couple of features we'll go and have a look at, a couple of sell points. This isn't the shop, just ignore that, that was my store deliveries icon. The main shop is right up the top up here. It's a few other tracks so you can navigate your way through quite a part of the map. And then there is some water features in the way of streams or rivers which come through, one through the bottom of the map, and then this one meanders its way right up across the top, branches off into a couple of other smaller streams, smaller tributaries. So quite a few unique features. As I said, we are down here. This is the main farm, which is where you start off at. You just take a look there. You can see you start off with farmland, which has a value there, $20,000. And these 4 fields, 13, 19, 18, and 22. Now field 13 just under $20,000, 13,000, 13,000, 12,000. So a very affordable land, and that is the theme across the whole map. Now some of the bigger fields here, which you might expect to cost a little bit more, $44,000 there, 38 for a nice square field, $40,000. Very, very affordable, and even some of the smaller fields in here, $4,000 for that plot of land, field number 31. Now the outlying lands, the roads and surrounding areas are all purchasable. You can see there, $368,000, and if you wanted to do some forestry, there is some area on that, or if you just wanted to own it, you could do that as well. The buy points are obviously not buyable there. You can see we can't select those. Now, in terms of our tour, we'll take a look around the farm here first, then we'll head out the road, take a trip down here. We'll head down towards the bottom here. We've got the animal dealer and some sell points and items to look at down there. We've a buy point here with a lot of supplies you can purchase, so we'll take a look at that. Come down the side road here. We'll head down here towards what is the BGA. There is a sugar mill, and then we'll head possibly up through here and back, or we'll come up the main road and take a look at the features that head up here on our way to the shop. So starting out here in New Farmer, we are at the farmhouse. Step back here, you can see our sleep trigger here on the front. Now we'll pop out here and we'll just go for a walk around the farm. Now over here to our right is the grain dryer. Now we'll just run over here and see we've got a tip point here. This is the propane tank which is required to run the dryer, and then we've got our unload pit and an overloading auger there above, with the grain dryer tucked back in between. If we just pop in here to the production menu, you can see we've got the suck up corn dryer there. Inputs of 80 units of corn, 20 units of propane will give you 100 units of dry corn. So little bit of a magic dryer. It manages to increase the amount of corn from what you've put in, which is something a little bit different. So from here we'll head back over past the farmhouse again, and you'll see these other two rather big silos. Now you might have noticed those in the production chain as well. Now this is a couple of unique features to this map which Louisiana has added in to assist with creation of silage. So we'll just bring up the production chain menu again. And in here you can see there's two different silos. We've got a high moisture corn silo. If we click on that there, you can see we can input dry corn to create mineral feed. So we've kind of got a chain there where you have to harvest wet corn or normal corn, dry it to be able to turn it into mineral feed. Now obviously the mineral feed can be used to feed your cows. And the second one is the haylage, or sorry, the 60-foot stave silo with two functions in here, corn silage and haylage. Now the corn silage, 100 units of chaff going in, which is obviously what you would get if you had harvested your corn as silage with a forage harvester, gives 100 units of silage. We've got the output there. And the haylage converts grass into silage. So we've got those two options there. So that does just simplify your process of making silage. You're not having to compact a silage pit or convert grass into silage bales, and it does allow you to come and obviously overload equipment and deliver it straight into the cow barn. We'll carry on walking around here. As you can see, there is the fill point from those two silos. So back a trailer and underneath that feed wagon or something like that, and you can get that filled up to take over to the dairy barn, which is over in that direction. Now you see we have got a couple more silos here. These are the standard in-game flat bottom ones. You do actually start off with 12,500 or 25,000 litres of sorghum, 12,500 litres in each bin. So you could quite quickly sell that if you wished. We'll head over here towards the main dairy barn. So storage shed in there on the right. This is equipped with the automated feeding system. So we've got our inputs here. Silage, straw and hay in there, and you can see there obviously all the different inputs and outputs when we get close enough to the barn. Now what I like about this is it does differ, uses parts of the Giants in-game barns but not all of them, so that feed mix is obviously part of one of the barns, but he's taken that apart. Milk silos, so loading point there for your milk. And if we head around this side, see we've got the dairy barn here. And there is our animal dialogue for purchasing our animals, so we can get those added in there. And down the side here, I think this might be a tip point for feeding the animals as well. We'll take a look at the equipment as we're walking around. Obviously, before we do leave, we'll go and have a look at the tractor down here. Front end loader, I believe this is a 6120M. A trailer parked in there. We have a slightly larger John Deere over here running the row crops, the clamp-on ones, the 410 series, and then a lot of equipment that's really quite practical for running a grass operation. We've got the fertilizer spreader, a mower there, tedder, I've got a bale wrapper, baler, the mega merge, and then just around the other side here we do have a rollers for the field and also a sprayer. Moving along over here, we do have a silo for storing liquid herbicide or liquid fertilizer as well. So either option there for that. And just one other feature that I didn't mention as we come down over the back here, you can see we have already got some beehives placed. I do like the design of these, they're quite unique as well. Very nice. And back out the front, we'll just wander down here. There is one more animal placeable. This is a pigsty, so you can see there, you can come in here and purchase our pigs. And we have our slurry fill point there. I think that would probably be the feed trigger in there for dumping our pig feed into. So that is a pretty good overview of the main dairy farm here. I do like the feel of it. It has a nice style. Now, I didn't mention, while the map is based on a location, and if you go into Google Earth you can find the road layouts, the rivers, the streams, the approximate field shapes. Some of the farms, Louisiana's used some artistic license in, so this farm doesn't exist in this location, but I do like that he has done that and the way he's styled and laid out the farm. I think it feels quite natural. And just one other feature, we'll just very quickly run over here, we should have covered when we were looking at the silos, is a greenhouse. So there's already a placed greenhouse in here. Again, it looks like a little bit of a custom model there with the opaque panels rather than the clear ones. So again, another nice little feature. So now that we've taken a good look there at the farm, we'll go and sort ourselves out a pickup. I haven't done that yet, and we'll go for a little bit of a drive around to take a look at the rest of the map. We've picked ourselves up our favourite pickup, and we're just going to drive out the front of the farmyard. Now to the right is where the rest of the map is, down to the freeway, but we're just going to head down to the left here first, because there's one little feature that I really want to show you, and I haven't seen done before in Farming Simulator, and think it is very well put together and very well done here by Louisiana Mapping. So as you can see, we've got these 4 fields up here on our left, and we're not going to go to all of them, but we're just going to stop here and hop out. Now, to those of you who are from Louisiana or familiar with that area may recognise this little contraption here. It is a crawfish boat going out and catching crawfish. Now obviously for those you need to have some water. Now, if we just come over here to this valve assembly, and there is a trigger here. Now if I hit the menu up, and I'll bring it up actually, you can see there, open gate. We interact with it, open the gate, you see the end opens, water comes out, and suddenly we have a watered field, or a flooded field for want of a better description. Now Louisiana, I think I mentioned earlier, and if I haven't, apologise, but Louisiana is hoping to add rice to the map, and these 4 fields here in the corner all have this same feature here. They can be flooded. We turn the valve back off again, you can see the water plane disappears. So I think that is just a fantastic little feature, very, very well integrated into the map, and just add something new that Farming Simulator hasn't seen before. I don't know if it does anything in terms of fertilisation or anything like that to try and boost yield. I think it is just a feature to add to the realism of farming rice. And that is effective on the 4 fields across this corner. Each have their own individual valve and can be done on their own. And just in the little shed there is actually the generator and the pumping station, which can all be interacted with as well. So let's head on back the way we came, back past the farm, and head out towards the main expressway. We'll go down and check out the animal dealer down the bottom of the expressway there, and then make our way back up towards the top of the map. Just as we pull up here towards the freeway or expressway, you can see the first of the custom buildings there, the Texaco gas station. Now that does have a fill trigger in it, you can go and buy fuel from there. Now we're just going to head down here to the right, head down towards the bottom of the map. We'll take a look in here on the left, on our way back. That is the local co-op. There's a whole lot of fill points and everything like that that you might need for your supplies. But as we carry on down here, we will come out on the animal dealer. So on the left here is the animal dealer. Now there's no access way actually across from the side of the road, so we do have to drive across the middle. A little bit of an oversight there. But if we come down here and take a look at the animal dealer, it does feature some live animals. They are moving around and animated, so they don't require any care. They are just there and will always be there. If we keep on moving around the back here, and in fact the fill trigger is around the other side, we'll just jump over here and go and take a look at that. So that is the animal buy point. Pop up there, you can either buy them and send them to the animal pens that you want to, or if you had a animal trailer, you could come in here, come down the left hand side rather than the right hand side where we came. You can get in here and fill up with your animals. And just here in this shed is a sell point for I believe silage, hay and a straw. So any excess product or anything you make which you don't need, you can bring down here and earn some money off. And the yellow bin there is also a manure buy point or fill point, so you can pick some manure up from there if you wanted to get it from there rather than from the co-op dealer. So that's the animal dealer. Like we said, if you'd headed in on the left there is the way to get down to the loading point. So heading back out here onto the freeway, we'll take a right hand turn, and just up here on our right there's 2 other little things I want to show you. The building in there is a sell point. It is the restaurant, I believe. But before we do that, I just want to take a quick little look at these gates, because it's just something like this which is just shows the attention to detail that Louisiana has put into the map. Just watch as we open the gate and interact with them. Watch the padlock. Opens, chain disappears, and the gates open. I think that is a pretty cool little animation. Just little details like that, all the way down to the way that the padlock turns and opens, complete with all the sound and everything. Very, very nicely done. We'll just pause there. Looks like it's a seafood and steakhouse. And if we just take a look at the map, that is called the restaurant sell point. Just hang right in here, pull into the co-op and just take a quick look at all the different fill points. As we talked about earlier, this is anhydrous already on the map, so here is a anhydrous tank where you can come and fill up your anhydrous trailer or caddies or whatever you are using to haul that around. We've got the seeds, lime and fertilizer buy points there for the dry product. There's a slurry pit you can fill up with slurry from, fertilizer there on the right, the gas fill point in the center as well, or fuel fill point, diesel. A liquid herbicide is there, and then over in the corner here is a manure pile, so somewhere else to buy it from if you didn't want to get it from the animal dealer. So a one-stop shop for all of your farm supply needs. Alright, we'll take a right, head on back down here. Now before we head all the way down to the top of the map, we're going to carry on our right here and go down and take a look at the sugar mill and the BGA. Nice feel to the fields in here. I do like this one here on our right. Nice irregular shape, but with the trees and the road around the boundary, it feels quite enclosed. Quite a nice little field. Our first point we come up to here, just on the right, AmeriGas. That is your fill point to purchase your propane. Now, there's no equipment included with the map to haul any of the propane or anhydrous, so you will need to locate some mods. Obviously, if you've seen our Deer Creek preview on our Deer Creek series, there was a couple of modded trailers that were included with that package, which you could use on this map to be able to haul those around. I have added them into my save and can confirm that they will work with the fill types. They are registered there. And here on the left is access into the sugar mill, so we'll just follow the track down here. Now the one feature of the sugar mill that Louisiana Mapping has included is it is seasonal. It is not open for all 12 months of the year, so you'll just have to pay attention if you are planning on doing sugar. Keep the gate open there. If you are planning to do sugar beet or sugar cane, just pay attention to when you can and can't sell your product, and when you can and can't access the sugar cane or the sugar factory here. Pretty straightforward. We've got our fill point there, obviously our spawn point there for the sugar, and the interactor point. There's to be a water point there as well. I'm not sure if you can fill from that or not. Not something I've tested. Might be something that I'll leave for you guys to discover. And then immediately across the road from the sugar mill, we've got the BGA. So if we just take a right hand turn into here, then straight in here on the left, weighbridge here on the right, so you could drive over there and weigh your vehicles. But what I do like about the BGA is it has a very similar feel to the Elm Creek, and I believe that a lot of the assets are similar to the Elm Creek map. Just look here at the platforms up there. Looks like it might need a little bit of landscaping just across the edge there. Could be an opportunity to use Terrafarm, but we've got silage pits and the fill points for the BGA. What I do like about this is it's not just a big expanse of concrete like what the BGA on Elm Creek was. There's some real character to it, which I think just differentiates it a little bit from what we've seen on some of the other maps. So having seen all that, we'll head back down towards the main road and head on up to the top of the map and take a look at all the different sell points, production points and the like on the way. As we head north here along the freeway towards the top of the map, we've got a sell point in here on the right. Now, a lot of you will recognise instantly the Taco Bell logo there. So we've got this is the fast food restaurant or takeaways restaurant as the sell point. I think if we come around, and we'll probably come in the wrong way here, but if we just spin around and take a look, there is your dump trigger. So you can bring your product that you can sell in there. And then immediately across the road is the sawmill. So if you do any logging, there is some logging areas. We went through a couple down by the sugar mill, but you can take any logs that you might want to sell into the sawmill in the back there. It also has the carpentry placeable included, so if you want to do planks or furniture, you could do that. Now I did mention that there is a few different sell points. There is actually only one sell point for grain, and this is the silo complex in here on our right. There's a drive through there, and you can see the unload point in the green shed, so we're just going to take a quick look at that before we move on. A lot of the other sell points, the restaurants and things, are for some of your products such as your milk, eggs, those kind of things that you'd normally sell at a restaurant, but just through here, this is the dump point or sell point here for the grain. silos, so it is the only point if you're doing any grain crops to be able to sell that product. We'll just make our way back out here to the main road and just carry on to the last couple of points up here on the end. There on the left is the dairy production point, and then in here on the right is a couple more sell points. And you can see the triggers for those. So we do have a pizzeria there, Pizza Hut, so you can go and sell your pizza here at the trigger there. And if we just go and take a quick look here at the trigger, this is the bakery building. So you can buy the bakery and do all your bakery outputs like you normally would. And then we've got the other trigger down here. We'll just take a quick look at this one. That is your costume. So boss. So you can come in and change your attire. If you want a day off the farm, you could come in and go clothes shopping. So a couple of nice little touches there. But again, as you see, another custom building. Now this is quite unique here for the windows. Check out the mirror. Obviously we can't see ourselves, but you can see our pickup in the mirror there. Very mirrored windows. Not sure if that's a Louisiana speciality or something that's common in Louisiana with the brighter sunshine they might get down in those parts of the world. So our last main stop is just up here on the left, which is the main shop. So as you drive in here, you'll notice the old John Deere spinning around on a stand on a turntable, which is a very nice little touch. And then if we make our way in here, you can see immediately we do have a workshop point. And if we carry on around to the back here, could have come in the other side. No, we couldn't. Carry on around here. Park inconveniently for everyone else, but we do have the trigger here for purchasing things. Now if we just take a quick second and pick ourselves up a tractor, release the John Deere there, and just see where that's going to spawn. We just come out the back here of the shop. There's quite a big open area out here where you can see right down the end there is our tractor. So I'm assuming potentially the cones are markers in diagonal corners to mark out a square for where your equipment spawns. So I'd suggest if you wanted to build something here, it might not be the best place. A nice big yard area. The shed over there does actually have opening doors, so you could use that for a role play if you wanted to be a mechanic or do something like that. So another nice little addition to the map. So there we have a very fleeting tour of South Louisiana, a 1x map, 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers by Louisiana Mapping. Currently PC only, and as you would have seen from a lot of the custom buildings on there, the brandings likely to stay that way for the foreseeable future. I'm really impressed with what he has done for a first attempt at map making. I know he spent a lot of time and has had some expert assistance in his forays and has become quite knowledgeable through his interactions with other map makers and has been helping out on some other things. So very impressed with this first up map. It has a lot of features to it and just a really nice feel. Even though it's flat, it doesn't feel like a big open map. It's quite enclosed, whether it's by the use of the different roads, the shapes of the fields, the trees. As you can see looking across it right now, there's some nice hedgerows and things like that which just define the edge of the fields. Just going over now that little field that I liked as we were driving down towards the sugar mill. Just a nice feel and nice variety to it. So I do hope you have enjoyed that map tour. Special thanks to Louisiana Mapping for the work he's put into this and the feedback he's given me as I've asked him questions. He's been very accommodating with telling me what he was trying to achieve with the map. So looking forward to seeing how else this might develop and what he might have in future releases. So like I said, I hope you've enjoyed that map tour. It's available now. The map has been released on Louisiana Mapping's itch.io. Go and check out the link for that. It'll be in the comments below, and also go and give him a follow on Facebook. He's only just starting out. He doesn't have very big numbers, but the work he's doing, I think, warrants your support. So if you're like me and looking forward to playing on this, go and make sure you give it a like and a download. That will do it for me. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.